All right, I'd like to start off by saying Barak Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rucha Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is The Next Phase. And pretty much this is all centered around the I to the O to the B, the internet of flesh. I'm saying it that way for a reason, you know, just put the B word instead of the flesh, and you'll get it. And that's pretty much, merging, you know, man with machine. And that's what they're pushing right now through the 6G technology. And that's pretty much what they're doing right now. And that's what these, the World Economic Forum out in Davos, Switzerland is all about. They're pushing that technology, you know, upon the people. It's not super windy, it's a little windy, so let me know if you can hear me. I may have to turn a different direction, if the wind is bothering the mic. Just let me know, on the comments in the comment section, you brothers out there. So that's pretty much what's happening right now. And they're really pushing it heavy because they already the water. They already hit the 2020 mark, which they had Agenda 2020. Now they got Agenda 2030, and everything is moving along according to their plans, which is really the Most High's plans anyway. Yahweh Bashem Shai. And I just wanted to say a few words on it. I got a couple of precepts, because this is like the ultimate is, having everything connected to the internet, which we have told, we've been saying this for a while through the Spirit. And this way they can track everything. Going back to when IBM first started, they had something called the tabulating machine, and the word tabulating is short. Is where you get the word tab from, the shortened form of it, keeping tabs on people. That's exactly what it was. They've been at this for a while, looking for new and creative ways to do that. That's why the scriptures say, "And knowledge shall increase," because the Lord gave them this technology to push their demonic agenda so that He can ultimately judge them. So the I to the O to the B, the internet of flesh, put the B word instead, and you'll get it. The word internet means a computer network consisting of a worldwide network. That's where you got the www, World Wide Web, which www equals up to 666. It says a worldwide, let me read it again, a computer network consisting of a worldwide network of computer networks that use the TCP/IP network protocols to facilitate data transmission and exchange. And that's pretty much what they're up to. Now, I looked up the word internet site. It says a computer connected to the internet that maintains a series of web pages on the World Wide Web. And that's what they're pushing. So this I to the O to the B, which is, which is the internet of flesh, like I said, switch out the flesh word for the B. Says here, the internet of B or B's, I to the O to the B term was coined in 2016. It describes connected devices that monitor the HUMAN BOD to the Y, collect psychological, biometric, or behavioral data, and exchange information over a wireless or hybrid network. And that's pretty much what they're doing, pushing that whole demonic agenda. Because when the scriptures say no man shall buy or sell, save he that has a M to the A to the R to the K, the charagma, the Lord wasn't joking about that. And those individuals that say otherwise and don't consent to the wholesome words of our Lord, they're going to be in trouble because they're coming up another way. They're pretty much hirelings that are trying to distort, the ways of Yahweh Bashem Shai for filthy lucre's sake. But they have their judgment coming, because the scriptures say that the judgment of a long time lingereth not. So when we read Ecclesiastes 7:29, it says, "Lo, this only have I found, that the Most High have made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions." And this is why the scriptures say that their heart is deep. It says they sought out many inventions, you know, and that's, these um this technology that was given to them, you know, they pretty much used it in a malicious way. Let's look up this word invention in the regular common dictionary, and then I'm going to look it up in the concordance. Invention: the creation of something in the mind, a creation, a new device or process resulting from study and experimentation. Remember, it says that their heart is deep. That they, for lack of better words, they conduct, a diligent search. A diligent search doesn't mean you open a book, look at it, and then go about your way and you got everything mastered. No, a diligent search means that you actually analyze, reanalyze, then analyze again, psychoanalyze. You go to different sources. Check out different sources on the same thing. Leave no rock unturned. You know, you exhaust every possible avenue that there is to search out this particular thing, and that's what they've done, and that's the invention. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the concordance, the book of Ecclesiastes. Just bear with me. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 29. Not 9, sorry. Chapter 7. Chapter 7, verse 29. It says, let's see, many inventions. Let's look up the word inventions. The word there is chashab one. Chashab one. Device, invention, or connivance. That is actual, a warlike machine, or mental, or machination, engine, invention, right? So a machination is something that somebody engineered or invented in their mind. And this was done through much research, many different things that they've accomplished over the years, finding these things out. This is why they're all over the world. They have all different type of experimentations. They experiment on animals, lizards and different things of that nature, cattle, pigs and all of that, because they're trying to see how this technology is going to work on these animals and reptiles, as opposed to the human, B to the O D Y. All right. So let's read that again. It says, and we're going to build on that word invention. It says, this is Ecclesiastes 7:29. Lo, this only have I found, that the Most High made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. And when you seek something out, the scriptures say that their heart is deep, and they made a diligent search. So they really went deep into the heart of this technology that was given to them, because knowledge shall increase. Because everything that they've been doing is trying to find out or figure out a way how they can get a system going in the world whereby they get a piece of everything. You got to remember, these devils, the scriptures say that they have more than heart could wish, and they're greedy. They can never have enough. Here it is, they have the world's wealth. They've been tripling, quadrupling their wealth, over the years. I mean, they have everything they could possibly want, and yet still in all, they want more. They want control over the people, but they still want more. You know, and you notice that as the world keeps going, like the old term goes, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So I want to read this in Second Ezra 6. I'm gonna start at the first verse. The point is around the fifth verse, and we may jump around a little in this chapter because this is a very good chapter. Going into these end times that we're in. It tells us who would be ruling at the end. It tells us different things that would be happening. It tells us about the invention of the internet right within the same chapter. And how information would be pushed out there, especially the information of this truth that we're teaching through the vehicle of these satellites, which are different signals transmitted, back and forth between these devices that give people a visual and an audio of what's going on in different countries and different cities, so on and so forth. Second Ezra 6:1, it says, "And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightened, or ever the foundation of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established." Right, this is before anything. When there was darkness, the Most High was there. It was dark. It was nothing. Before even the Yahushua, the angels, or anything of that nature was built or done or created. Before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together. There you go. Or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measure of the firmament were named, or ever the chimney in Zion were hot, and ere the present years were sought out, and or ever the invention of them, now here goes, and ere the present years were sought out, or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned. Right, because this technology that they were given, or this invention, was given to them pretty much to forward their iniquity. And once their iniquity was forward, the next step would be what? For the Most High to overturn it, turn everything right side up that they turned upside down. It says, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for treasure. And this is the only thing that is going to get the elect out of here, is their faith that was given to them, that was sealed within them. So no matter what, no matter how hard it gets, no matter what obstacle comes their way, no matter how impossible a situation may seem, that seal within them that was given them is going to be what helps get them through to the other side. Other than that, there's no hope for anyone. If you are not part of the elected nation of Israel, if you don't have that seal within you, if you don't have that spiritual guidance from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you're not going to make it. And that's just the plain truth. So ever since then, even before anything was created, all of these things were already set up and established. The elect were already sealed before the earth, or before the foundation of the earth, before anything was even ever created. The Lord already knew. He already had a plan. That's the supreme architect. And he has everything in order the way he wants it, and it's playing out on the earth the way he envisioned it. And we're just going through the motions, so to speak, of what's happening, because although man thinks they have their own will to choose whatever path they choose, that's not the case, because man's goings are of the Lord. Now you can choose to believe that or not. That's of no consequence to the Most High, to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, because he already chose what's going to go down and what's not going to go down. He already chose everybody's path. That coulda, woulda, shoulda spirit really doesn't mean anything, because at the end of the day, whatever path you took, that's the path the Lord, chose for each individual. So now let's look up some more scriptures on this word invention. Let's go from there. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 8. Let's see what that says. And like I said, if the wind is too much, let me know. I'll try to turn different ways to to get a better sound for you. So this is Second Ezra chapter 8. I'll start at 26. It says, "Behold, the time shall come that these tokens, which are signs, which I have told thee, shall come to pass, and the bride, which is who? The elect of the nation of Israel, shall appear." Right, and that's what's happening. Why? Because of the truth. You know, we're about to get married to Yahushua. Yahushua being the bridegroom. You know, that's why the Apostle Paul said that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Yahushua, because Yahushua don't want no tainted bride. And how does the bride become pure? Through these words. How should a young man cleanse his ways? By taking heed thereto according to this word. You know, this word is the ultimate healer, the ultimate, refiner, the ultimate, no fuller out there can get a white as bright as the word can to the elect. And she coming forth shall be seen that now is withdrawn from the earth. Yeah, because at one time we were not recognized. At one time we were hidden. At one time, no one knew about us. At one time we were and still are described and looked at as the filth of the earth. Niggas, spigs, spooks, wetbacks, coons, you name it. Beaners, tontos, chief, but not in a good sense, in a bad sense, you know. But now that's being turned upside down. And whosoever is delivered from the foresaid evils shall see my wonders. Why? Because those will be the elect that are going to see the wonders of the Lord when the time comes. For my son Yahushua shall be revealed. Let me see. Okay, I got the wrong scripture. That's a good one, though. That's a good one, but that's dealing with something else. I was actually in the wrong chapter. Let's go to Second Ezra 8. That was actually Second Ezra 7, which was actually good. Um, Second Ezra 8. Let's start at 24. Oh, hear the prayer of thy servant, and this is how we look for the mercies of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai through our prayers, and give ear to the petition of thy creature. This is what we ask in the Lord for. Because the creature is what? Something created. And we are the creature, and hopefully we are the creature that is a part of the elect. And if we are the creature that's part of the elect, we're being created in the image of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai by the gospel that's being taught. For while I live, I will speak. And so long as I have understanding, I will answer. And that's the only way to get to the other side, so to speak. Is by being constantly directed by the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. For while look not upon the sins of thy people, right? But pretty much have mercy on us, but on them which serve thee in truth, right? So don't look at the iniquities and the sins and the transgressions that we committed, but look upon the works, of the men that are out here, pushing this word, but on them which serve thee in truth. Regard not the wicked inventions of the heathen. And these things that you see going on are the wicked inventions of the heathens, because remember, they're all in bed together. The Moabites and the Ammonites and the Edomites and the Ishmaelites, they're all in bed together. They all are, pushing this whole agenda, They're all together. That's why the scriptures say when Yahushua comes back, he's coming back to punish Esau, but he's also coming back to punish the kings of the earth, which are the rulers of these other nations that are in bed with America. So it says, regard not the wicked inventions of the heathen, but the desire of those that keep thy testimonies. Right. Think not upon those that have walked vainly before thee, but remember them which according to thy will have known thy fear. Yeah, because Yahushua said it best. Except the Lord will shorten them days, there shall no flesh be left to be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Because it's going to get so bad out here that the only protection would be to either sell out to these devils, or to be divinely inspired by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and that's it. Anyone else is pretty much in trouble. Let it not be thy will to destroy them which have lived like beasts, but to look upon them that have clearly taught thy law. Take thou no indignation at them which are deemed worse than beasts, but love them that always put their trust in thy righteousness and glory. For we and our fathers do languish of such diseases, but because of us sinners thou shalt be called merciful. For if thou hast a desire to have mercy upon us, thou shalt be called merciful to us, namely, that have no works of righteousness. Right? Because the only reason why we have a chance is because of the gift that was of faith that was given to us by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. For the just which have many good works laid up with thee shall out of their own deeds receive reward. And that's what we speak about, that spiritual bank account. And what we're doing now, although we're suffering wrongfully, we're actually continuously making deposits into that spiritual bank account, because very soon there's going to be a necessity, a serious necessity of withdrawing from that spiritual bank account for these times that are coming. And those that have, put carnal things into their so-called spiritual bank account are not going to get any return. But those that have sowed spiritual things into their spiritual bank account shall be able to withdraw those spiritual things for protection in these times. For what is man that thou shouldest take displeasure at him, or what is a corruptible generation that thou shouldest be so bitter towards it? Now let's jump down to the 50th verse. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And that's why it says, woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. Because there's going to be some real serious situations that are happening right now as we speak, that are brewing right now, that are going to start bubbling over very soon, and it's going to be many great miseries. There's not just going to be one. Remember, the Most High is very diverse in everything that he does. He's, you talk about creativity, his creativity is far beyond anything that we could even imagine. So there's going to be a whole lot of a whole host of ways, a plethora of ways, that the Lord is going to get busy upon Jacob and upon the world in these times. So let's go from there. Let's go to the next precept, which is 2 Ezra 13. And this is why Yahweh Shai and the angels are coming. They're coming first and foremost to deliver the purchased possession, pick up that package, of the righteous, and then lay down these heathens, beginning with their armies and pretty much this whole wicked world and all that are partakers of it. Because everything is leading to the MO to the TB. And the Lord said those that take it are going to suffer that second death, which are the nuclear missiles and the lasers from the chariots. They're going to be in a world of hurt, and everything else that comes from this point until the missiles drop and the chariots come to deliver the elect and to smite the wicked. So this is 2 Ezra chapter 13, and man, this is some good stuff. 29. I started 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. Wow, that's heavy. I didn't know that I was going to say that. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another, which we're actually seeing right now. Race wars, class wars, wars between citizens and governmental agencies, war between patriots and the military, the National Guard, FEMA troops, so on and so forth. It's going to be very nasty out here. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I showed thee before. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. And that's why the lesson yesterday, I believe it was, or Saturday, these things must happen. They have to happen before Yahweh Shai can come back. You know, because in the midst of all that chaos, Yahweh Shai is going to come and gather his elect out of the chaos, out of the fire. You know, they shall scarcely make it through. That's how heavy this is going to be. It says, and when all the people hear his voice, every man shall. Let me read that again. And when all people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another, right? Because the scriptures say that, all people shall mourn. I believe that's in Matthew 24. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting, right? And that's the armies of these nations. And you could read about that in Isaiah 34. You could read about it in Revelation 12. You could read about it in Revelation 19, and other precepts that speak about this, this particular event that's going to take place. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion, right? And Zion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands, right? And that's a representation of the kingdom of heaven, the Israelites, just like Revelation, the 21st chapter. Because the Lord said he will get us praise and fame in the lands where in every land that we were put to shame. And that's the promise that we're waiting for. And and Jake doesn't understand that. I was watching this video yesterday about Juneteenth, and they were going into the history and how they did certain experiments where there was these so-called these houses that were so-called black owned, by Jake and a woman, a man Jake and a woman Jake, and how they went to get her to praise, and the Edomites, had like an attitude. They didn't even go. They probably spent maybe 15 minutes there. They really didn't appraise the house and gave them a lot less than what they would receive. There was another Jake couple that got a quote, and when they got the quote, they called a different company to come quote again, but this time they asked their Edomite friend to come and to act as if they were the person that was in the house, and I believe they got either 15 or 150 grand more for the property than the Jake couple. Because Jake is trying to base his whole thing on economics. They're trying to use that generational wealth that Esau has. This is not for you. We as a people are under curses. But Jake, no matter how many times you tell them that, they're still trying to push on. Still talking about voting. Still talking about making a change, getting into these different offices. You're not going to change nothing. This is a punishment directly from the Heavenly Father. Everywhere we would go and everything we would do, the Lord said that he would put vexation upon it, until we be destroyed, because we're serving a punishment. It says, and this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, right? That's dealing with their military forces, their military power, this whole I to the O to the B that they're pushing out there, merging man with machine, trying to get everyone connected. They're talking about 6G, and by 2030, I believe they said, the smartphone as we know it will not be of service at all. You won't be able to use it because everyone is supposed to be interconnected in order for them to use that phone. And that's another part of the way that they're going to use to deceive the people. Now we know that the Lord is going to take this place out, because they're looking to the future, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20 years in the future. Even I was watching Mike last night on RTD talking about, that this ain't going to happen in our generation. It's going to be our children and children's children. So has that conventional thinking of the world, that this place is going to just continue on as it is. Which shows that he really doesn't understand the scriptures. He says he believes in the Most High and in Yahushua, but he has the conventional, Renaissance Christian ideology in his mind, where everybody can receive the message of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and they can't. So he's not looking for this place to go down anytime soon, but this place is about to go down soon, very soon, So, and the Lord is going to make them push things through further. That's why when the end of 2019 came in and 2020 hit, you see things moving lightning fast. They've accomplished more in the last 2.5 years than they ever done in their whole lifetime of centuries, where they have pushed out this new world order agenda. Just within 2.5 years. And everything that you see is already, the infrastructure is already there. It ain't like they got to set up the infrastructure. The infrastructure is already there. The MOTB technology is already there. You have your Amazon Goes. You have, people using biometrics. You have people using their bank cards and their credit cards, and not even having to swipe anymore. Just waving it over different devices, and they're getting the people mentally ready. Taking away that shock and awe effect by slowly implementing it, just like that serpent slowly coils up in the corner and waits for the prey to get tired and then pounces on it when there's no more breath left in him, where he can't fight anymore. That's how the serpent operates, man. It says, and this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations which for their wicked life are falling into the tempest, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented. And that's why we read about the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. And that's the torment. The torment that's coming for them, or the hell that's coming for them, is captivity, slavery. It says, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto fire. Yeah, because these Edomites, what's going to bring the end of their world is the fire from those missiles and the lasers from the chariots. That's the second death. And once the Lord takes down their infrastructure, then the next step, they thinking they're going to come back out and rebuild, because they're not looking to have the world destroyed and their infrastructure destroyed. They're looking to whatever goes down. They once the smoke clears, they're going to come up out of those shelters and pretty much, start everything all over again. Something they call continuity of government. But that's not going to happen. And I don't know if your brothers remember years ago, they would have interviews with Evelyn Rothschild or Elin Rothschild, David D. Rothschild, Jacob, I believe his name was Jacob Rothschild. Apostle Gabar hates that dude, the toothy bastard, and others, different, Rockefellers would be interviewed or whatever the case be, or you might see public appearances of them. It's been a minute since you've seen any of these international banking families, out in the public. So it's more than likely they're already in their bunkers waiting for the smoke to clear, And a lot of these rich bankers have left America, back in 2019. They resigned because they knew that a shitstorm was coming through, and that's where we're at right now. But what they don't understand is that bunker where they're at, that's going to be the end of their world, because the scriptures say that when they're about to eat, the Lord shall cast the fury of his wrath upon them, and that's where we're headed to. All right, so now let's see what else we got. Okay, we read that. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 14. Let's see what that's saying. Okay, I know what that says. With this whole I to the O to the B, the internet of flesh, put the B word instead of the flesh. is pretty much an invention of theirs that they've been trying to push for the longest. They finally figured out a way to through much research and much money that was paid, much um the meeting of the minds coming together to bring out this new technology that would help them achieve their goals of total control of the world. You know, and that's all what a devising of an idol. Because when you devise something, there's something that you sit down and you think about constantly. You constantly meditating on the different ways of how it would work, and then you might come up with an idea, and you might try to put that idea into effect by tinkering with the mechanism that you have to work with to achieve the goal of what you envision in your mind. And that's pretty much what has happened. And this is why they have these colleges, because the colleges are set up to find the brightest minds out there to help them push forward their agenda, whether it be through political arenas, economic arenas, social arenas, science, psychology, whatever the brightest minds can offer them and bring to the table to help them push forward their agenda. That's what these colleges are for. Not for no higher learning for you to make more money. That's just the rules. Because most people that go to college are $100,000, $200,000 in debt, working at McDonald's, cleaning toilets, janitors. You know, what's that word? I always forget the word. Mowing grass and cutting grass and all of that. You know that there's a term for it. I always forget it. You know, but that's what the colleges are for. That's why these so-called institutions of higher learning are all about. It's all about gathering the brightest minds to set forth, the future inventions of these devils. Landscaping, the water, brother. Yeah, that's it. Landscape. I always forget that word. I don't know why. Landscaping. That's it. And you notice when you go, you check out these people that are in college. The majority of them are just in debt. And this is what these devils want. They want a world in debt, because a world in debt means that eventually that debt is going to it's owed to somebody, and they're going to collect on that debt. And what easier way for them to deceive people by saying, look, you have this enormous debt, but if you accept these conditions and you accept this MO to the TB, which they ain't gonna say MO to the TB, if you accept this new way, and these, the way we want you to do it, then we'll wipe that debt out, and you don't have to worry about that. And what do you think the average person out there is going to do that doesn't know, that this is the MO to the TB? They're going to comply, because they say, well, you know what, this will wipe the debt out. I can start all over again. My credit score will be better. I can, I can better my future for myself, my children, my family, so on and so forth. So this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14. I'll start at 11. No, 9. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High. So don't think for 1 minute that the Most High is with these devils, although it seems that way, because you're like, damn, man, these devils are doing all manner of wickedness. I mean, the wickedness is at an all-time high, and it just seems like these devils just keep prospering, And that's why Asaph said that, he was like pretty much sad, man. He was depressed. But he said he was depressed really only until he entered into the sanctuary of the Lord, and then he understood their latter end, that the Most High set them in slippery places. So they have to be able to go on this route, seem like they're winning, to keep pushing their agenda so that they can reach their ultimate goal, which that ultimate goal will be, the linchpin, as they call it, to take out the bottom of their agenda, and the Lord could judge them. For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation, right? Because these things are pretty much an idol. That's why I said that they shall, put you somewhere, be an idol with things offered unto idols. Because that's the ultimate goal. Because if you accept that, right, that's an M to the A to the R to the K. That's their M to the A to the R to the K. Which means that that's going to be inserted in you, and they become what? The permanent rulers and gods over you. Whereas the Most High, Yahweh, has his M to the A to the R to the K in his elect of the nation of Israel. And he is the power of the elect. He is the power of all Israel. He's the power of all flesh because he's the father of spirits. But he is the power of the elect of the nation of Israel. Because 2/3 are going to die here in America, and other Israelites around the world are going to die because the 2/3 only pertain to here in America. 1/3, 2/3, America. The rest of the elect around the world are not a part of the 1/3, and they're not a part of the 2/3. They're just if you're around the world and you're an Israelite and you're saved, you're part of the elect. If you're an Israelite and you destroyed, you're just part of the ones that are to be destroyed. But the 1/3 and the 2/3 only apply to America because it says in all the land, singular. All right. It says, therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation. Yeah, because the Lord is going to visit them because of these demonic inventions that they pushed out. Because in the creature of the Most High, they are become an abomination. Right, because that's an abomination for you to be able to change what the Most High made you to be. When you go into, they got this thing called CRISPR, which is gene editing. When you start doing all of that, that pretty much changes the makeup of the Most High's machine. And that's an abomination to the Lord. It's no different than if you're a man and you cut your rod and your nuts off, and they somehow make that thing into, a quiver. That's an abomination. Have men take certain hormone pills to grow breasts, or maybe attach a tail to the front of a woman. Hey, and stumbling blocks to the souls of men, right? Because people want to live, they want to survive. So it's going to be a stumbling block to them because they're going to be faced with either you take it or you're cut out and you're going to starve. You're going to, So most people don't know what's going on and they're going to go for it. And a snare to the feet of the unwise, right? Now, this is speaking about actual idols, but we can also apply this to this technology that they have, which is an MO to the TB, which pretty much once you take that, you're bowing down to them. You're making them your God. And what did Satan tell you, Yahushua? All these worlds, everything you've seen, I give it to you if you bow down to me. And what did Yahushua say to him? He said, man, the hell with you. The Lord said, thou shalt have no other God before me. You should only bow down to the Most High. You ain't going to bow down to any idols, just to Yahweh. B'Hashem Yahushua. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them, the corruption of life. And this invention that they have going on is the corruption of life, because it's going to alter the makeup of the human, so to speak. Now they took this brother's video down, the up and coming elder Karatazar, and I hope they don't take this video down, but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Because it's getting to the point where everything is being censored, on YouTube. But it is what it is, because eventually the Lord's going to shut it down. He's going to make the roof of the prophets cleave to the top of their mouth. He's going to make the word scarce. There's going to be a famine of hearing the word, which there is now a famine of hearing the word, but it's going to get worse to where there's not going to have any watering holes to go to. Let's see if there's any more here. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. It says, for the vainglory of men, they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. Right, and that's talking about actual idols, because the Lord said there's going to be a visitation. But this whole technology that they have is like an idol. So now let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 15, and we're going to go to the 4th verse. For neither did the mischievous invention of men deceive us, nor an image spotted with diverse colors and paint, and the painter's fruitless labor. Now, once again, this is dealing with actual idols, but the invention of men is also this technology that they have, that they were given. And these things that they do, These inventions, they find them out by what? Experimentation on animals and eventually human. Because what you got, you had the Neuralink, with Elon Musk. He's um that was a joke, by the way. He tried it on a pig, but then they're saying by such and such a date, I forget the exact date, they're going to start human trials because that's what they wanted to do all along. You got a problem with your cognition, the transmission of your cognition? Don't worry. Take it to Midas. Elon Musk will make it all right. You know, he's going to take out that old engine and put something in there that's going to make your performance a whole lot better. And it's going to be a miracle, you know? And they're trying to achieve, immortality by themselves. But immortality comes from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You dig? It says the sight whereof entices fools to lust after it, like the idols used to do in the past. Now, this new technology is enticing fools to lust after it. Why? Because they want to be in that position. They don't want cognitive dysfunction in their mind. If they have, any problems with their limbs, with being able to walk, with their sight, with their hearing, or whatever, they want to be able to hear better, see better, walk if they can't walk. Have everything at the drop of a dime. By a thought, everything happens because they're trying to achieve immortality in a mortal body. That's why they have to alter, the flesh in order for them to achieve that, because his flesh was set up to be corrupt. And that's why the Lord said that we have to be changed, but they're going to make the change, but it's going to be a bad change. For the sight whereof entices fools to lust after it, and so they desire to the form of a dead image that hath no breath, right? Which is the idols, once again. But these things have no breath, but they have the ability to send certain electrodes and certain signals into the brain to make it function where there is a dysfunction. It says, both they that make them, they that desire them, which is the ones that make them, the bankers, and the ones that desire them, the populace, and they that worship them are lovers of evil things and are worthy to have such things to trust upon, right? Because these things are not the way to receive eternal life. It says, for the potter tempering soft earth fashioneth every vessel with much labor for our service. Yea, of the same clay he maketh both the vessels that serve for clean uses, and likewise also all such as serve to the contrary. But what is the use of either sort? The potter himself is the judge, so the Most High is the judge. There's a reason why bodies are the way they are. There's a reason why disease is here. There's a reason why some people, their mind goes. There's a reason why some people may have the function of their body, all four limbs, and then all of a sudden they end up in a wheelchair or paraplegic or whatever the case may be. These are the judgments on the earth that are what? Played out on the earth. But these devils, they're going to change that. See if there's any more on that. And employing his labors lewdly, he maketh a vain god of the same clay, even he which a little before was made of earth himself, and within a little while after return up to the same, out of the which he was taken, when his life which was lent him shall be demanded. Right, because the Most High is the Father of spirits. It doesn't matter if you create something that doesn't get sick. Once the Most High, deems that spirit got to go back to him, guess what? It's going back. It ain't staying. No matter what, no matter how much you make it, lifelike, it's not going to work. You're only going to go so far. And you have to go that far because it's scriptural. Everything in the scriptures has to be fulfilled. Nothing is going to fail from the things that the Most High spoke of because the Most High's name is riding on it because of his word. And he's not going to break his word, not even for his great name's sake, because he said he will not give his glory to another. You see? It's not that the law is above his name, it's that his name rides on what's written in the scriptures. And he stamped his name upon it. And damn it if he ain't going to make it good. His words are not going to go out void. So I just wanted to say a few words on that, on the I to the O to the B. And this is the next step, the next phase, and you see it all happening right before you. They're pushing it, just like they push by these celebrities for Jake to go and vote. They're gonna, try to make it, seem like the trend and an in thing to do. And if you want to be in the hip crowd, if you don't want to be that lame, that's lurking in the shadows, if you want to be happy, you have to, take this thing, and then you will be able to live like these celebrities live. But it's all just a ruse, it's a deception coming from the serpent, and they're trying to get as many as possible to fall into that trap. But one thing they never counted on is that the elect won't fall into that trap because the elect are going to be guided, inspired, kept, preserved, and delivered by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai when Yahweh Shai comes back in the chariots with the angels to destroy these devils and to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel. So with that, I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. Until the next time I say, Shalom.